Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. I'm trying to get this screen set up this morning. All right, I'll have to go with it. Good morning. Thank you guys for rocking with me today. It looks like it's just going to be me again. I think the sun, has lost his momentum. All right. So I'm at day 174. I'm going to get everything out here as I give you guys time to come in. Let's just get it going here. All right. Well, thank you for rocking with me for day 174 of Daily Motivations for African American Success, where we are journaling through the book of Dennis Kimbro. And let me say this, let me back up. Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. And if you've been rocking with us, you know this is not just about the color of our skin. This is not just for African Americans. It is for all of us because as the book tells us that there is one power that can reverse the fortunes of race, and it is character. And that means that we all need character in order to grow, to change, and to become a unified society. So we are here, started as Black History, celebration of Black History, my son and I, and then we decided to just kind of keep it going. And I am committed to it. I'm going to do my best to see it through as I see the benefits, the changes in my own life. I see changes of the people for the people and in the people that have been rocking with us on a consistent basis. So Daily Motivations for African American Success is for all of us, and everybody is welcome to the barbecue. So, as you come in, say good morning. Let me get back over here. We got some comments coming in. Good morning, Mike. Brother Mike's out there. He says, good morning, everyone. Brenda Davis says, good everything, everyone. I love it when you say that. It does something for me and to me. Good everything, everyone. It's different, right? So let's get right into it. If you're out on YouTube, say hello to us there as well. I'll get that message here and get back with you. So let's jump right into it, you guys. Let's jump right into it. So Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead you to the achievement of your true goals. Your true goals, great people. Take your eyes, your thoughts, your mind off of other people and what they're doing. Focus on the achievement or achieving your true goals. You have to know what they are in order to pursue achieving them, right? So you have to know what they are first. So in 365 short but powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, who is also the author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes, but also when to say no, and when to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Life's gonna pop, right? That's what we say. Everything we need is inside of us. So each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans, such as, but certainly not limited to, Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Gout, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. But what it teaches you, if you will allow it, will last you a lifetime. Black Enterprise says that each affirmation in this valuable and thought provoking book takes only a few minutes to read, but it is worthy of more time for contemplation. So I hope that you guys are contemplating what you are learning and moving forward, right, with your true goals. So, what do we have here? Can't touch this. July 23rd, day 174. Can't touch this. That's MC Hammer. Can't touch this. Right, y'all? Tell me, Mike, Big Mike, is it MC Hammer? So that's our topic for today. Our quote: wake up. The hour has come to be more responsible. Wake up. the hour has come to be more responsible. Change this world by starting with yourself. The world is not going to change until you change. And that's Dr. Betty Shabazz, who is is an educator and the widow of Malcolm X. She says, "Wake up." I'm going to say it. Wake up, great people. The hour has come to be more responsible. Change this world by starting with yourself. The world's not going to change until you change. So let's get right into it. Let me take a sip of my coffee, you guys. I haven't had it. Don't want it to grow cold. Grow cold. Oh, wow. So I receive many letters from men and women across the nation who say they want to be successful, but don't know how. They've tried following all sorts of involved principles, yet they only need one. They only need one. The following story provided a clue. There is an African ritual that is used as a rite of passage for males bridging from youth to adulthood. The young boys of the village are instructed to find the most valuable thing in the world and to return to show it to the elders. One young enthusiast raced from the snow-capped mountains to Mount Kilimanjaro, which fascinated him immensely. He climbed higher and higher up through the hinterland to experience the feel of the snow for the first time. There among the clouds and frozen turf, he played his hand into the stinging coldness and clutched a handful of snow in its marvelous purity. With his hand held tightly closed, he raced back to the village. The villagers were assembled as the elders inspected the eye-catching treasures the other youths had discovered: jewels, silks, and various wonders of nature. Suddenly, the young boy broke into their midst. "What have you brought us?" they asked excitedly. "See," he cried triumphantly as he opened his hand, but his hand was empty. The villagers saw nothing. Only the young boy knew the meaning of what had happened. "The most valuable thing in the world," he said, "cannot be held by the human hand. It's an idea." I'm going to read that one again. "The most valuable thing in the world," he said, "cannot be held by the human hand. It's an idea." And let's look at our affirmation, and I'll get this out here for you guys to see. There we go. Today, I will begin to list all my ideas and set a timetable for putting at least one into action. Today, I will begin to list all of my ideas and set a timetable for putting at least one into action. One more time for the people in the back. Today, I will begin to list all my ideas and set a timetable for putting at least one into action. All right, y'all, let's break it down. And I'll start with our topic. Can't touch this. Can't nobody touch an idea that has been planted in you. Can't nobody touch it, right? Nobody. Y'all, this is Brandon. Just gonna have to wait. Can't nobody touch it. Can't nobody touch you. Remember how I talk about Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's? They sell burgers, right? KFC, churches, right? How many more do we have that sell chicken? Their main thing is chicken. And you'll find these same restaurants on the same corner or in the same proximity, right? Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Walmart. How many do we need to sell the same thing? Right? So the same with you. The same with you. Can't nobody touch it, but you can. And are you touching it? Y'all, I'll tell you, God has planted so many ideas in my head. And if I had just, and I mean, and just, if I've not touched them, thought about them, but won't we think our way out of some things? Is it fear? Is it lack of discipline? Is it lack of responsibility? Miss Brand, I'll take you for example. 40 years, 40 plus years, right? You were on that job. And you're free now. What idea has God given you? Because it's not, I have your, I guess I'm picking on you because of that. I have your assessment. You guys, Miss Brenda took the assessment. I'm eager. I know we talked briefly last night. I wonder, did you go on and read past the part that I told you? This is Miss Brenda's good everything, everybody, right? This is her life. This is who she is. This is how she's wired. So she's finna embark upon an awakening, some awakening moments, right? She's gonna come alive. I have no doubt that that she will put in the work that she gets from this, that she will be responsible for what she learns, and she will take it and grow. So I challenge you, Miss Brenda, to write your ideas down. Pray upon them before you pick one. It says that you will pick one, that you will at least get one into action. But I know there's many. So you guys, your ideas, the seeds that God plant into you, grow them. Don't be fearful of anything that God plants into you. Now, let me say this. The little boy, one of the young men, not even the elders, got it, right? So I would say this young man was in the divine flow. He was operating in the light, in divine flow. Let's be responsible. Let's take responsibility for our spiritual life. Because wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever thoughts you're thinking, whatever feelings you're feeling, whatever emotional tantrums that you are having, it is a choice. You have made a choice. You make choices every day. So why can't your choices be to have a positive attitude, to stop buying into your thoughts, to take every thought captive and measure it against your true goals, to learn how to have fresh encouragement every day of the year, because life pops, tires go flat. There was one said, I will put air in my tire before it goes flat. Put God in your life before circumstances and situations happen. It should be a lifestyle. One of the quotes I shared a few days ago. Seeking God and his kingdom should be a lifestyle for us. Because I promise you, y'all, I could not go and do what I go and I do without the presence of God in my life. His strength, his power, his peace. It leads me to longing for excellence, responsibility, holding myself accountable for everything that I do. It's not about you, it's about me. When you make me feel some kind of way, I'm going inward. What's still left? What is this magnet attaching itself, the magnet in you attaching itself to in me? Because the more maggots I release, then there's nothing for you to attach to. We become a free spirit when we walk in divine light. We become a free spirit and can't nobody touch it. Nobody, right? So you have to believe that. Wake up, dying to live. Wake up from your worldly death and become spiritually alive. The hour has come, Dr. Shabazz says, the hour has come to be more responsible. Change this world by starting with yourself. The world is not going to change until you change. So be the change that you want to see in others, right? Be the change that you want to see in the world. Because the way that you see the world, when you change the way that you see people, the way that you see the world, it changes. I call it spiritual eyes, spiritual mindset, spiritual ears, a spiritual heart, right? And that's only one that you will find if you are in sync, if your rhythm is the divine flow, right? Because when you know that you know that you know that you know, do you know? Do you know that you were created for purpose? Remember the story where the guy is selling shoes, and he had sold a lot of shoes that day, and someone else had come in to buy shoes, and he said, go, no, 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 go buy shoes from my brother. I've sold a lot today. My brother, not so much. Go help him. Your heart becomes a giving heart. You want to share. I've talked about there was this time where I wouldn't want to share anything. I'd share a little bit. So what you were getting from me was just a little bit. It's just what I wanted to give you. But as the little boy opened his hand, so he's saying it's not in the hand. It's in the heart. It's in the head. It's in the mind. It's in the way you speak to people, the way you hear people, the way you see people. It's the idea that God has planted in you that will open up the eyes, the way that you see people, the ears, what you hear. People will begin to speak and you hear what they don't say. You see what they're hiding, right? And the idea is just another way to get there. So what has God planted inside of you? What ideas have dropped into your heart, your mindset? Which ones keep coming back? Man, I wish I did this. I wish I had did this. I thought about this. Have you ever had an idea and that someone has not taken the idea, your idea, right? But they're doing something very similar. And let me say this, just because it's similar doesn't mean that it wasn't still your idea. You just didn't go with it. They did. They did, right? So wake up. Wake up. The hour has come for you to be more responsible. And I'm just going to say, with what God has given you, what God has given you, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? All right, let me get my quote back out here. That's the one I want there. So I'm going to see if there's anything that I've missed. Um, I thought it was. Oh, I know. Okay. So there is an African ritual that is used as a rite of passage for males, bringing bridging from youth to adulthood. The young boys of the village are instructed to find the most valuable thing in the world and to return to show it to the elders. What I think is important here, rite of passage, young boys, young people, and elderly people. We don't have enough of it. I'm going to speak to my elders right now. As I spoke a couple of weeks ago, you are blessed with it. What is it? Are you using it? Because we need it. 56 years old, I still need my elders. I need them to pour into me. I need them to tell me to sit down when I'm doing something I should not be doing. Right? I spoke my Mima. my neighbor here, she's the one got me the speaking part. But I was sharing in that same setting that one day I was all in my head. I was, boy, I was angry, right? And I called her and I said, I need to come over there. I just need to come over there. And I went and she listened and she said in the most purest, and Mima is a very loud um, person. She's forceful with her tone, but she said to me, "Baby, don't do it." Just as soft spoken, a godly word. And I shared this with the elders there that day. But what I'm saying is this 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 scene, this setting, this reading needs to come alive in the world, you know, especially with our young men. Men, elders, it is your responsibility. That word again, it is your responsibility to become more responsible in creating rites of passages for these young men. Get involved. I remember Brandon saying that it was not the men in the suits, the educated ones, right, with the good jobs, going to church on Sunday. It wasn't them stopping them on the street, telling them, "Hey, young man, hey, young blood, let me talk to you for a minute. Don't do what I'm doing, right? Don't do what I'm doing." So why aren't the ones who are suited and booted, educated and spiritual saying, "Young man, come here, do what I'm doing. Do what I'm doing. Let me take you to church, right? Let me do something for you. Let me pour into you." No, it's the bloods out there who are walking the street and selling the drugs, who may not know another way out because somebody didn't pour into them. So think about that. The responsibility that you are not adhering to in whatever it is. Because putting on a suit, going to your corporate America job, in your Mercedes, BMW, whatever it is, going back to your $1 million house, right? In your $1 million clothes, that's not saying that you are responsible for the idea, that you've taken responsibility for the idea, right? That God planted in you. This life is not just about you. You can't live in this world alone, right? Can't hardly live with yourself, if truth be told. All right. So get in the mindset of, can't nobody touch this. Can't nobody touch me unless God allows them to, right? And who am I to challenge that touch? Who am I? Can't nobody touch the idea. But I tell you, the ideas won't be into action if I don't touch them. So this is hitting home for me again. Again. I've been sitting on some things, and I'll tell you something else. Don't expect anybody else to help you with your idea. Don't expect it. It could be the person that you pour into the most. They still may not pour into your idea. They'll talk the talk, but when it comes time to walk in the walk, maybe not. So take responsibility for making it happen. You take the responsibility to make it happen. You bring it back and open your hand and they see nothing. You say, "No, why?" Because it's not there anymore. I've birthed it. I've brought it into action. All right. So that's all I have. I'm going to check our comments, get a sip of my coffee. So, good morning, Auntie Richetta. Thank you. She says, "Good morning, Butterfly and everyone." Brandon is listening. He says, "I'm enjoying watching the show. Love you all." And Big Mike says, MC Hammer, you can't touch this. KL, hey y'all. Thank you, KL, for rocking with us all the way from Vegas. So that's all I have, you guys. I'm going to say it. And you walk around all day singing, can't touch this. Right? Mm-mm, mm-mm, can't touch this. Somebody will be like, well, can't touch what? Open your hand. My idea is gone. I'm going to birth it. I'm going to birth it. So write some things down. Today, I will begin to list all my ideas and set a timetable for putting at least one of them into action. One of them, right? Can I get somebody today to text me one of your ideas? Just one. Just one. Good morning, Latasha. She's another one. I'm going to fuss with her this morning. Can dance, can sing, choreography, all of that. And I know God has planted ideas in her head. He's put it in her hand. She's holding on to it. Holding on to it. Don't we all though? But y'all, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. Wake up. Wake up. It is time. The hour has come. This hour is here for you and your idea. So take time to be more responsible. Cut the chatter out of your life. You know, the chattering people, right? Be around people who are responsible, not just for themselves, right? But for the idea and the seed that God has planted in them. Okay? So, my number, 901-431-3071. Text me just one of your ideas. If you want to share the list, by all means, do it. But I'm only asking for one, the one. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold you responsible. I'm going to be like, I remember hearing Steve Harvey talk about one of a mentor. He was selling something, and the guy would call him every morning at the same time. And Steve would be asleep, call like 5 o'clock. And Steve would answer the phone like, man, you keep calling me every morning. And the guy finally just, hey, dude, what's up with you? I call you every morning. What do you want? Because see, y'all, we can say we want it. We say anything, don't we? We say anything. But I'll tell you what, people can say anything. You have a choice to believe it or not. But I'll tell you what, you don't have a choice of believing their actions, believing or not. It is what it is. So do their words line up with their actions? And basically, the man was asking Steve, you say you want this. I'm calling you to get you pumped up. You still sleep at 5 o'clock in the morning. And y'all, I'm telling you, we'll talk about Steve, but Steve is a grinder, right? And I've heard Steve say these words, no matter what you say about him, what you think about him. Steve says, I'm just foolish enough to believe that God will do in my life what he said he would do, in spite of me. In spite of me, right? Because see, when you start seeking God wholeheartedly, not in a selfish, egotistic way, always asking for the world, rather than a spiritual, internal life, right? When you start asking, God ain't looking at what you're doing. Guess what? Guess why? Because he knows the more you seek him, what you're doing, he don't even have to worry about that. Because the more you become more like him, your character changes, right? Your sight, your ears, the way you speak, the way you live. And he's not asking for an instant overnight transaction. The only thing he's asking you to do is seek ye first his kingdom, his righteousness. That's it. Can't nobody touch this. That's it. All right, you guys, that's all I have. as it relates to the show, I do, I promised you something, and I'm going to go over just a few of them. Oh, by the way, Miss Brenda Davis and I, and Mike, we have the same first language. Speaking about the assessment, if you came on late, Miss Brenda took the assessment. So I'll be unpacking it for her. And so, what I decided to do, the assessment also provides you with your positive character qualities. So, I'm going to name just two of, well, I'll give you three. There's several. Loyalty is one of my main ones. I've been told this too, that I'm loyal to a degree where it may affect myself, affect me. I'm changing that. I'm learning to be loyal to myself first, my ideas, my living, right? The way I just see myself. Loyalty is one of my positive character qualities, self control, and determination. So there's a few. I'm not going to give you all of them. Give me yours. If you list them, send them to me. All right. I want those ideas today from someone. Please send it to me. Continue to save the money. If you are doing it, I am continuing to save mine. I am going to have that $1,000 to add to my savings that I already have. Do the work, you guys. Put in the work. Put in the work. Become more responsible. And I'm the 40-day prayer challenge. If you're doing that, let me know so that we can bounce some ideas off of each other, right? So let me know what you guys are doing out there. Until tomorrow, thank you again for rocking with me. Hopefully, we'll be back here tomorrow. I will be back here same time tomorrow. And hopefully, God willing, you guys will be right here with me. Until then, peace. I love you. Send me those ideas. 901-431-3071. Text it to me and tell somebody you can't touch this because this belongs to God. I am a child of the Most High God, right? Purposefully, spiritually, wonderfully made. And now I finally know it. I finally get it. And thus the reason I say, you can't touch this. You can't touch this. Be great, great people.